All right, everyone. I went ahead and opened a whole bunch of jump rings to get ready to make this spiral. I found that it was easier to have them already pre-opened so that when I started lining them up onto the jump ring chain, it made a lot more sense. So the first thing that I did is I actually connected a little lobster clasp and I put 3 together. The 3 together just gets me started and I have a longer little tail to hang on to. What I found is I was dropping my spiral every time I tried to connect a new link. So I just put 3 right in a row. Now I'm actually going to start the spiral. So the spiral will come off the third one. So I started a pattern of 2 silver and a gold. So I'm going to now join another gold one onto here. And I'm just going to join it to the last 2. So I'm going to lay them so that one is on top of the other. And then I'm going to do my best to slide this gold ring. I'll pick up a different one. The gold ring from the back to the front through the center of the 2. So I'm going to slide it through the center. Then by holding onto it with my left hand, my forefinger and my thumb, and positioning the opening, I'm actually going to squeeze using my pliers so that I can get a nice tight squeeze and a connection. I'm not even going to pick up that second set of pliers right now so that I don't accidentally drop my sequence. So I now have a third ring attached right there. That third ring attached is really tight, and that's okay. You can kind of pull it in out a little bit and make sure that it lays behind the other ring. I'm trying my best to show you that. I know it's hard to get this focused here. So I'm trying to focus it better. There we go. So now it's like behind the other one. So it's laying behind. I'm now going to continue with my pattern, which was 2 silver, 2 gold. I'm going to come from the back of this and I'm going to lay the silver one through those 2 rings and bring the little tail out. And then again, holding tight with my forefinger and thumb, I'm going to pinch the other jump ring that I just joined in, and I'm now going to position it by turning it and laying it behind that one. So they're stacked, kind of like stairs. So I now have them stacked one behind the other. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to kind of let this dangle a little bit just to give myself a little bit more room. And now my next connection is going to go between the silver and the gold. And I'm going to use another silver because I'm doing 2 silver, 2 gold. And now I'm going to connect from this one to the next one here. And then I'm going to pinch together. All right. And then you position, you flip it so that it lays behind. So again, I've got one behind the other. It looks a little bit like a stacked staircase. And now I'm going to continue on. This time I'm going to add my gold one on. And I'm going to go behind and get through those 2 silver ones. It's sliding on me a little bit here. My little jump ring kind of flattened, so I'm gonna use those round pliers. Sometimes if it went past itself, I need to kind of make it bigger again. So I'm gonna make that one bigger, and that'll give me a little bit more room because I kind of crushed it a little bit, which does happen with jump rings, and that's okay. So you can see my jump ring there's a little bit smashed. So I'm just rounding it back out with both pliers here, because that's going to happen, and that's okay. All right, so I got it lined up again, but now I've got to get my pattern going again. So I had my first 2 that were unhooked, and now I'm stacking these one behind the other, so they look like a little staircase, one stacked behind the other. Now I'm ready to add that gold one back on, and I'm going to slide it from the back through those 2. And I know it's hard to see how I'm doing that, but just trust me, if you go from the back, and then I'm going to grab those other pliers because I like the way they close better. And I'm going to close these jump rings together. And then if it flips on you, which it sometimes will do, it'll flip around to the back, just rotate it so it goes behind the other one. So I'm now again stacking like a little staircase behind. I know that's really hard to see. All right, I'm going to come back to you guys once I have about 10 linked together so I can show you that staircase a little bit better. All right, so I have about 10 links, and I'm just kind of continuing my pattern here. I'm going to show you in just a second once I get one more connected. So I haven't let go with my left hand. I have not let go yet because then my pattern falls apart, I found. So I want to keep it as tight in my left hand as possible. And every time I'm kind of shifting the 2 in my hand back a little bit so I can make room for the hole that I want to make. Okay, I now have about 15 on here. Now, if you lay it down, it starts to kind of lose its shape. But if you pull it and then you kind of twist at it, you can see as you twist that the spiral begins to happen there. So that's about 2 inches of spiral. And then if you can see really closely here, you can see that kind of stepping pattern between the different links. So again, keeping your hand really tightly, your forefinger and your thumb on the left, and then only using the one set of pliers to add to the chain itself. So you can see that I have them kind of stacked here, close together, and that allows you that space in between to get those last little links together. And then in order to maintain that spiral the whole time, you can add a clasp on one end and then put just a jump ring finisher on the other. And then you can wear it like a little bracelet or as a pair of earrings or something along those lines. Good luck. Let me know if you have questions.